Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another ranking video. Today we're going to be talking about my top favorite wrestling matches, top 10 favorite wrestling matches from the month of September 2023. Now there was a whole lot of wrestling that happened, WWE Payback, AEW All Out, so much Grand Slam. You know, here on this channel I try to review, rank, and review each matches for a number of different reasons. One of them being the story. Did they tell a good story? Is there a story leading into the match? You know, not every match needs a story, but some matches, a story can either elevate or bring down a match. So I look at that. I look at technicality. Is it technically advanced? Is it not? Doesn't need to be, but if it is, wow, that's awesome. You know, stuff like that doesn't really go further into that, and overall personal enjoyment, and whether it was a good show, whether it was a good fight, strong, hard fight. I'm more of a technical kind of wrestler guy, more of a flippy-dippy kind of guy, but you know, when the flippy-dippy stuff is done right, I think it's done good, and you know, you might make it into the top 10 list. But anyways, here are my top 10 favorite matches for the month of September 2023. And folks, I do this every single month, so I'll link a playlist of all the other months that I've been doing this. Alright, so we're going to start by... These are no in particular order, by the way. These are just 10 matches that I enjoyed. I try to watch a little bit of everything. New Japan, WWE, AEW, and everything else in between. So here we go. From WWE Payback, two matches that I thought were pretty gosh darn special was the Steel City Street Fight between the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were defending their Undisputed Tag Team Championships as they went against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And if you don't know already, Damian Priest and Finn Balor won. They are the new Undisputed Tag Team Champs. So I thought this was a crazy match. You know, if Kevin Owens is in it and it's no DQ, then you know something's gonna go crazy. And something did. He swanton off the top of the thing, and my goodness, by golly, it was crazy. Rhea Ripley got involved with a spear on Kevin Owens, and eventually 1, 2, 3, Judgment Day got the win, which I think was the right call. I was kind of like, where is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens going to go from here after they won the titles at WrestleMania? And they did a couple matches, they did their thing, but I think it was about time. So that match makes it the top 10. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. Yes, I give star ratings to these. Star ratings don't matter, just my personal opinion. Another match from Payback included the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this was another case of a great story heading into the match. Both men really hated each other, and there was some history between them as well. Nakamura, I think, should have won the match. Seth Rollins retained, but as of right now, I think they're gonna run it back at SummerSlam. Why not SummerSlam? No. What is the next WWE pay-per-view event? Is it Fastlane? I can't remember. There's too many pay-per-views. But anyways, I thought this was a great match. 4 stars I gave it. Now the next show, I gave 3 matches. 3 matches are on this top 10 here. And that was from AEW All Out on September 3rd, 2023, just a day after WWE Payback. So, first off, we had Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita. I gave it 4.5 stars. This was just a super hard-hitting bout between the two. Of course, Don Callis family and Kenny Omega have been feuding for quite a while, ever since Don Callis literally stabbed Kenny Omega in the back, or in the head, by the way you look at it. Kenny Omega was trying to get even with Don Callis, but he could not do it. Konosuke put him down 1, 2, 3. Second time he beat Kenny in a week, previous being at All In, which was I don't know, that match was kind of all over the place. It was I don't know. But this was much better, I think, the one-on-one between Omega and Takeshita. Another match that I thought, it wasn't most technically savvy, and it wasn't even the best match on the card, but I thought it was memorable for a number of reasons. It was Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, it was kind of a slow burn. They started off slow, they built up, and at the end, it just exploded. And what really made the match was the crowd. I think the crowd has a lot to do with wrestling. That's kind of the reason why the pandemic era of WWE and AEW and wrestling in general was kind of odd. It was missing that crowd feeling, that action, that pumping, you know. You go back and you watch Rock versus Hogan. The match isn't too technically savvy, but the crowd really makes it a 5-star match. This is not a 5-star match. I think this was more like a 3.5. More closer to a 4, but 3.5 for Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs. And the final match I included from All Out was the strap match between Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks. I gave this one 4.5 stars. It was a bloody, bloody affair. There was more blood in this one than the Moxley main event, which was very, very surprising. I don't think Moxley even bled in the main event. But that match I didn't really like as much as this one. This one was stellar. It was fantastic. Ricky Starks is on the rise. He's on the come up. And Bryan is just a certified legend. He doesn't really need to do anything else. He could retire tomorrow and he could say he's done it all. So, yeah, I thought this was a really, really, really great match. Moving away from AEW for a little bit, we're going on to New Japan. Here's one match from New Japan that I really enjoyed. On the New Japan Road to Destruction on September 9th, 2023, it was a giant elimination 10-man tag team match between the United Empire with Cal Newman, Great-O-Khan, Hanari, Jeff Cobb, and Will Ospreay versus Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji. Oh man, a lot of people in this match, and basically it was an elimination match between these two factions, these two groups here. So these two have been in a feud for quite some time, and things are beginning to boil. Things are beginning to rise. Jeff Cobb and Tetsuya Naito have been feuding for quite a while, and Yota and Will Ospreay have been feuding for quite a while, and they had a big blow-off match later in the month, which I'm going to talk about soon. Sneak peek, spoiler. But yeah, I thought this was a great match. 4 stars. So much was going on. So much was happening. But, yeah, it was just a crazy match. Go out and go see it. I definitely recommend it. It wasn't too long. Very, very nice. Now, speaking of longer matches, this one's more on the longer side, but it was worth it, I think, in the end, because I gave it 4.5 stars. It's Will Ospreay versus Naomichi Marufuji from the Naomichi Marufuji debut 25th anniversary show on September 17th, 2023. Now, Marufuji is someone that I only recently became familiar with. I haven't really followed his career for too long. I've seen a couple of his matches here and there, but he's not someone that he's not someone where I know everything about them. So when it came time for Will Ospreay's match, I decided to give it a shot because I heard he's a great, great big fan of Marufuji, and I really like Will Ospreay. And I think Will Ospreay is the wrestler of the year so far. I think he's having the best matches and the best character work, the best promos. He's just the man here in 2023. So I just had to watch this match, and it really did deliver. 4.5 stars for Will Ospreay, Marufuji. You could tell Ospreay was just loving every bit of every second stepping in the ring with his legend, what's that word when you look up to somebody? That's who Marufuji is to Will Ospreay. Next up, we have 2 matches from AEW Dynamite Grand Slam on September 20th, 2023 for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship and New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. It's Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli. Now, this is another match that's not as technically sound as it is the crowd and the atmosphere and the moment at the end. I think a lot of people are kind of going to forget the match, but they're going to remember that this is the match that Eddie Kingston won. He finally beat Claudio for unknown reasons. Their feud is a little bit iffy, I would say. We don't really know where it began, but this is definitely where it ended. It's kind of hard to pinpoint what went wrong in time, but basically they're both mad at each other. Claudio didn't shake Eddie's hand at one point, and he just kind of exploded. It kind of played into the Blackpool and Elite feud and stuff like that, but this is where it all ended. Claudio dropped his title to Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston became Eddie 2 belts. It was a great match. I remember the match. But the moment at the end is really what made it special. I gave this one 4 stars. Maybe it's more of a 3.5 star match, but nah, it's Eddie Kingston. I love Eddie Kingston. And for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, MJF defending against Samoa Joe. Now, I honestly thought Samoa Joe would win this title. I said to myself, if not Samoa Joe, then who? Who will beat the great MJF. MJF has kind of had his renaissance year. He's kind of flipped the switch a little bit. He was a heel, but now he's kind of a babyface heel. Not really even a heel, but he's a babyface. He's the most cheered, beloved man in the company up until Edge debuted last night. But nonetheless, MJF is beloved by many, beloved by all fans of All Elite Wrestling, and he put on quite the show against Samoa Joe. Quite the battle. I really thought Samoa Joe was going to win this one. 4 stars. And next up, oh, actually, we're already almost at the end here, folks. My goodness, we talked about 9 matches. Well, let's go into some honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, also at WWE Payback, we have the WWE Women's World Championship match. Rhea Ripley defending against Raquel Rodriguez. I give this one 3.5 stars. Great match from the 2 women. And next up, another women's match from AEW Dynamite on September 6, 2023. It's Kris Statlander defending her TBS Championship against Emi Sakura. I have loved Emi Sakura ever since I first saw her, I think last year, on a random episode of Dynamite. I said, who is she? She is great. She's really crazy. She screams and yells a lot. And I don't know, she seems like just like a great worker. And Kris Statlander, of course, retained. But I thought it was very interesting and entertaining, about 3.5 stars. And next up from AEW Collision on September 9, 2023 is a one-on-one match between Jay White and Dax Harwood. This was the infamous Collision where CM Punk got fired, I believe. I believe this is the one. And I was very, very sad. Very... I hated that. I'm a big CM Punk fan. I think that was the worst decision Tony Khan has ever made in his entire AEW career. And I really wish CM Punk would come back. But then again, there's also the part of me where like CM Punk doesn't need AEW. AEW needs CM Punk. So where else is left for CM Punk to go? I can see him going to WWE. I'm not too sure. Would I like to see him in WWE? You know what? I would. I'm a little bit of a selfish guy. I want to see my favorite wrestlers wrestle. And CM Punk is one of my favorites. But nonetheless, we're talking about Jay White versus Dax Harwood. 2 guys definitely know what they're doing in the ring. Great character work all around. 4 stars with Jay White picking up the win. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the final match in the top 10 best matches September 2023, according to me. And that would be Will Ospreay defending against Yota Tsuji for the IWGP United's Kingdom Championship on Destruction and Kobe, September 24th, 2023. Like I said before, things were heating up between Los Ingobernables and United Empire. And it just, like, once again, these two are just so fantastic. I believe Yota had another top 10 match a couple months back. Will Ospreay, I feel like I've put him in top 10 matches every single video. He was on 3 in this video. I mean, the man is a workhorse. He's been doing it all this year, and yeah, very big Will Ospreay fan. Of course, he won the match. So there you go, folks. If you want to see more of this, don't forget to hit subscribe. And also, I say it's every video, just as a reminder, we have our very own wrestling show. It's called Supercharged Wrestling, and you can watch it right here today for free. Just hit the link in the description. My name is Anna Rice. Thank you. Good night. Mwah. Good night. Bang.